Hey friends, so today is actually May 4th, 2020. We are in May already. This would be your graduation month. How exciting is that for your graduation month? So this week is going to be bring your pet to class week. And hey, we would never get to do this if we were at school. So this is my dog Abigail. We call her Abby. And she likes to sit on my lap like a baby does, okay? And so when Abby is sitting on my lap, hi Abigail. So Abigail she likes to sit on my lap like a baby does. And she will stay there for hours if I let her. She is 14 years old. She is a white Pomeranian dog. And she is already deaf and she likes to sleep a lot. So this is my pet that I have for this week, and so hopefully you'll get to see her in some of the other videos. But I wanted to show you her because if you ever hear any scratching on any of the videos, it's her. That's Abigail. She's trying to get into the office while I'm filming, so that's probably what you've been hearing if you hear any scratches. So say, hi Abigail, hi. Oh, and she is very mean. She does not like kids at all. She likes older kids, but she doesn't even let Lila pet her. So we got to be super careful around pets. Remember what we talked about. You never run up to a dog or somebody's pet to pet them. You first ask for permission, yeah, because you don't know if they're nice or not, and they might bite you. She's little, she's only about 8 pounds, but still, she would bite a little kid. So remember to always ask for permission before you run up to a dog, even a little dog, because little dogs can bite too. Okay, so this is my dog Abigail. We're gonna tell Abigail bye for a little bit, and maybe you'll see her again. Bye, Abby. Hey, so you only have 3 papers this week. That's it. You have 2 phonics papers and you have 1 math paper, and that's the only things that you have except for your graded papers. Okay, so this is actually the week where we would be finishing up all of our regular papers. And so we would have some free time to do some extra special games with each other. We would be having our graduation party. We would be doing all of the graduation practices and stuff like that. So I know that you're super sad that you don't get to do all of that, and I'm super sad that I don't get to do that with you this year. But hopefully you're having a lot of fun at home and you are getting some good practice going on at home. So let's go ahead and pull out your papers. We're going to do phonics first. So I already have phonics on the board, so I need you to pull out your phonics papers and let's see how we are going to do them this week, okay? So you only have 2. So you have this one right here. We're going to do this one first, and then you have this one with the sandcastle down at the bottom. So go ahead and pull those out and then turn it back on, and we're going to go ahead and do those together. Okay, so Abigail is here to help us out. Can you say hi, Abby? Hi. Oh, cookie. Okay, whoa, she's got a stinky breath. Okay, so Abigail is here to help us out. So let's look at your phonics paper. So look at your first one, the one that looks like this with the braid on it. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to look at the one with the braid on it first. Oops, so sorry. Okay, here we go. So it says to circle the correct word. So you're looking at the word. You don't have to mark these unless you need extra practice marking them. Okay, I think by now you've got this down, but if you need to mark them, circle that special sound first and then mark the vowel. So this is pointing to the girl's braid. Braid. Ch-a-n. So listen to it. It has the long sounds, so it's going to be 2 vowels on there. Peach, toast, bowl. This one has a special sound in there. Don't let that one trick you. Road, sleep, hay. Another one with a special sound. And then this one would be roach, roach. Down here, you're going to circle the special sounds and mark the vowels. They did the first one for you. Tur, ap, trap. Then turn it over to the back, and let's see what you got on the back. Okay, on the back here, it says to connect the dots by putting the long vowel words in order and then color your picture. So you're going to start right here where the star is. So they started it for you. So 8, and then look, it goes to Z right here. So you need to finish this part. A to B. A, B, C, D, E, and then what goes next? The F or the G? Yeah, the F, and then to the G, H, and then what happens here? Where's the I at? So you got to figure out what's going to happen after this letter right here, because you're going to go into the long vowel. So H, find the I, J, K, where's L? No. M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, no X, Y, and Z. So there's a couple of letters in there that they're gonna try to confuse you on. Don't let them confuse you. You're too smart for that. And then just color your picture if you want to. I'm not concerned about your coloring. I just want to see that you can put those in the correct order. Now let's look at Jane right here. So this is Jane. We've seen Jane on a lot of our stuff before. So let's look at it. It says choose the word that best completes each sentence. Write the word in the blank. So these are your words, and you're going to write one word in the blank. We're not matching anything. We're writing, practicing those writing skills. So Jane is at the sand is, Jane likes to, she sees a. So you're going to pick which word completes the sentence, and it's telling you a little story. Now on the back right here, this is Emma. Look how far Emma has grown. She has grown like you have. And there's Jane. We've seen a couple of these boys before too. It says Emma and her friends started kindergarten last fall, just like you. Now they are almost ready for first grade, just like you. Help them find their way to the first grade room. Start at A, right here, and color the letters of the alphabet in order. The next letter must be touching the box of the last letter. A, B, and C are colored for you. So here's the first grade classroom, and Emma and her friends need to find their way here. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So you got to go up and around. Don't let this trick you, okay? This is showing you your alphabet. So you know your alphabet, you smart. So don't let this trick you, okay? All you have to do is to color it. If you don't want to color it, just use your pencil and connect all of the letters. Okay, go ahead and get out your math paper. We're gonna finish up your math paper, and then all you have left is your science and your reading, okay? So go ahead and get out your math paper, and I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so hopefully you have your math paper. Abigail is with us again. She wants to be in my lap all the time, so I think she's really enjoying being in class with us today. So let's go ahead and look at your math paper. It has the one with the shapes on it, like this right here. And it says to color half of each shape. So remember, if you're coloring half of it, is one dash or a little slash, 2, right? Because there's 2 pieces and you're only coloring one piece of that. So if you were to fold it over on that line, it would be exactly the same as the other side. Now remember, you're only coloring half of it. So you can use your markers, you can use crayons, you can use your paints, whatever you want to do, but maybe even your pencil if mom and dad let you, but only color half of it. Okay, so you have your diamond, your circle, your arrow, your tulip like we learned in Holland, and then your triangle and your oval right here. So on number 2, it says to listen as your teacher reads the story problem. And we're going to underline those important words again, because I want you to be able to remember how to do that when you get to first grade, like Emma and her friends. So make sure you have your pencil ready. We're going to underline those important words, and then we're going to put those numbers in the boxes to see what the answer is. So let's look at it. It says, Liz, so here's Liz, picked 3 daisies for mom. So let's stop right there. Do you hear an important word in there? Yes, 3. So you need to underline that word 3. 3. Underline 3 right there. Right there it is. And 4 daisies for grandma. Do you hear another important word? That's right, that number 4. So you need to underline that number 4 right there. So underline 4. How many daisies did she pick? Okay, so let's think about this. It shows us what sign to use already, but it might not always show us what sign to use. So you have to think about what they're asking you. Are they taking something away or are they putting something together? That's right, they're putting something together. So when you're putting something together, you're gonna do a plus sign. So you're adding it together. So let's look at it, okay? I don't have pretty daisies, but I have these cute stars that we would have been using in class on our boards. So let's go ahead and do our numbers. So we have 3 right here we need to put. So 1, 2, 3. So you need to write 3 right there. That's the first number we underline. And then it says 4. And I've got my little plus sign right here I'm gonna use. So plus, they already have that for you. And now we need to do 4. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they already have the equal sign on there for you. And then you have to decide how much 3 plus 4 is. So hopefully you've been practicing this, but if you have not been practicing, you need to go ahead and be practicing, okay? But if you have not been practicing, let's count our stars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you need to put your 7 right there. Now, are we done? No, we're not done, because now you have to go back and answer the question, because it says, how many daisies did she pick? So we know it's 7. Go back up there and write the number 7 on there. Okay, let's turn it over to the back and see what's on there. Okay, so here we go. On the back on the top, it's adding. That's all. You're just adding. If you need to do your circles, or you need to do pictures, or you need to do toys or crayons or whatever you need to do, go ahead and do that, okay? You have all summer to be practicing this work. You have time to learn it, but just remember that the summertime is gonna go really fast. It's already been over a month since I've got to see you in my classroom, right? Our classroom looks exactly like it did when you left, except for Miss Carmen has a little bit of her stuff in there. But that's okay. We're going to share our classroom with Miss Carmen so she can get some work done too. So if you need to, you can practice this stuff over the summer. Don't forget IXL. You can still be practicing IXL over the summertime too, because you need to know how to do all of your addition and subtraction. Because when you get to first grade, you're going to be practicing just a little bit, and then you're going to start doing some new stuff. So be practicing your addition and your subtraction and your money and your clocks. Don't forget to be practicing counting and writing numbers too, because when you get to first grade, you're gonna take off. They're gonna practice for just a little bit, and then you're gonna do a lot of work. So you know how to do this because you are super, super smart, aren't they, Abigail? Yes, they are super, super smart, huh? So be practicing this. Okay, so on number 1, you're just adding. Now go ahead and look at the frogs, and I'm gonna tell you the combinations to write, so that you can write those combinations on the answer on the frogs, okay? Oh, God bless you, Abigail. I think I'm gonna put her down for a little bit so I can help you out, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got Abigail put down so that I can help you out with the frogs. So look at number 2, where the frogs are. I'm gonna tell you the combination, and all you have to do is to write the answer in the box. So let's look at your first frog. Here's your combination. 2 plus 2 equals. Write the answer in the box. 2 plus 2 equals. Okay, let's look at your next frog. This is an easy one. 8 plus 1 equals. 8 plus 1 equals. Okay, let's look at your third frog there. 3 plus 2 equals. 3 plus 2 equals. Okay, and your last frog, don't let this one trick you. This is a different combination sign. Are you ready? Hopefully you remember the little rule about any number minus any number equals, here we go, 5 minus 5 equals 5 minus 5 equals. So if you need to do your little dots, you can do that. If we were in class, you would not be able to use anything at this time because you should have been practicing over a month now, and we've been practicing this kind of stuff for a long time. So if you still need to use dots or pictures, you can do that. Go ahead and keep doing that, but please, 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 please be practicing those flashcards and that IXL so that you do not have to use any numbers or any pictures when you get to first grade, okay? Now let's look at the very bottom. This is your calendar. Okay, so this calendar, we started May already. So today is May the 4th. So it's actually, today is a Monday on May the 4th, but we don't start a calendar on May the 4th, right? We don't start on the 4th. What number comes first on our calendars? That's right, number 1 comes first on our calendars. Okay, so this is May the 4th. So let's see on your calendar where you should have started. Now remember, we're doing May here. So this is actually Monday, May the 4th. So it was right here. So 3, 2, 1. So actually your number 1 is going to start right here on Friday. So right here you need to do 1. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, this is not the first time we've done this, and we've been practicing calendar all year long. So you're going to be practicing writing, and you're going to stop all the way on 30. So you're going to stop on May 30th, okay? So go ahead and start writing that. Remember, you're going to start on that very first Friday for May the 1st. That's where you're going to put the number 1. So you do not have to color this calendar though, but I need you to make sure that you're writing your numbers correctly and that you're writing it where it can be read. So don't make any sloppy work. Remember, you're doing your work unto the Lord. So your first grade teacher isn't going to be familiar with your handwriting. So you need to make sure that you're writing it so that they would be able to read it too, okay? So write that very nice and neat. And then I'm going to come back on and we're going to do our story, and then we're going to do our science and Bible. Don't forget Bible too. So when we come back, when you get finished with these papers, I need you to get back on here with me, and we're going to do our science and our reading stories. I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so this is so funny. So remember I told you how grown-ups can make mistakes too, right? And you know me, you've known me for almost a year in class now, and so you know that Miss Palmer can make mistakes too. Well, guess what? After I got off and got my reading book to get ready for reading, I realized that May does not have 30 days. May has 31 days. Here I was thinking about April because April had 30 days. Well, May has 31 days. So when you're doing your calendar on your math paper right here, you're not going to stop at 30. You're going to stop at 31. So if you've already done that, please go back and write 31 on there. 31 is a Sunday. Okay, so Miss Palmer made a boo-boo there. And that's okay because guess what? Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody was perfect except for one person, and that was Jesus. That's right. He was the only perfect one here on earth. So go ahead and make sure that you did that all the way to 31 because May has 31 days. Okay, so you should have your reading book out. Remember that we are in our green book number 4, and we stopped on page 12 about the day that it rained. So we're going to start up on page 13. So I need you to go ahead and get out to page 13. It looks like this right here with the cool little worms on there. So go ahead and get out to 13. If you don't need a bookmark anymore, that's great. If you still need something to track and you don't have anything, use your finger. You can track those words with your finger. Just make sure that you're staying up with me. Now remember, I'm going to go a little bit slower just like we talked about because I'm doing all of our groups. And you don't need to stop reading on this, okay? Read those AR books. The reading takes you to so many awesome places. It's exciting. It's like you're in the story and you're actually doing it with all of the characters. So please keep practicing reading. If you don't do anything else this summer, which I hope you do, because the more you practice over the summer, and you don't have to do it every day, but just practice something. Practice math every other day, or practice your phonics every other day, because the more you do over the summer, the better you're going to be prepared for first grade. It's my friends who don't do anything at all that I'm kind of worried about, because if you're not practicing at all over the summertime, you're going to forget a whole bunch of stuff, and first grade's going to be a little harder for you when you start back up. So please, 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 if you don't do anything else, read your stories. Read, okay? Because reading is not only so much fun, but it's going to help you out so much. So page 13, we're going to start at the top and read it with me. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Ready? Together. Treat, trap, try, track, work, worms, snack, sneak, found, ground, bright, right, chip, church, cheese, chart. Okay, I don't know about you, but I saw a lot of special sounds in these words. Lots and lots of special sounds. Some of them are one vowel, some of them are two vowels, but I see a lot of special sounds so far. Okay, let's go to the next row. Ready? Together. Look, hood, north, horn, sweet, swish, swirl, girl. Oh, those two were rhyming words. They both end in earl, so they were rhyming words. Look at the word swirl. What does that mean? What does it mean to swirl something? If you're making pudding and you want some chocolate and vanilla pudding, and you put it together and then you take a spoon and you go like this, and it looks like a swirl, what did you just do? What does that mean if you're gonna swirl that? That's right, it means that you're gonna mix it together, right? So if it's swirling, that means it's mixing together. Okay, let's look at the next row. Ready? Together. Hour. Now remember, this is a Deutschless word. This is not the hour like the time. This is like our class, our school, right? So this is, it's not the time hour, that's with an H, so remember that. Okay, here, let's look at your next one. South, like the direction. Sprout, mouth. Okay, let's look at sprout. What does that mean? We talked a little bit about that when we did our Mystery Doug stuff, which I really miss doing with you. But we talked some about sprouting, and we talked a little bit about it in science too. What does it mean if it's something is starting to sprout? It means it's starting to grow, right? It's that little thing, like the little piece of the plant that's growing out of the ground. So if it's starting to sprout, that means that plant is starting to grow. Okay, let's look at the next, the last one, the last row on there. Ready? Together. Snow, grow, throat, and thrill. So if it's a thrill for you, that means it's something that's exciting, right? It's an excitement. So let's go ahead and turn to page 14. We're going to read Miss Mouse. Page 14, Miss Mouse. Ready? Together. Miss Mouse. Miss Mouse likes cheese. It is a real treat. It is not a treat if it is in a trap. Look out, Miss Mouse. Do not try to eat that cheese. It is not safe. Grain is safe for a mouse to eat. Grain will make a good snack. Okay, so Miss Mouse is a mouse, right? Excuse me. And mice like to eat cheese. And so, but look at where that cheese is. What's it in? It's in a mouse trap. So is that safe for her to go get that cheese? No, that's not safe. But there's a bag of grain that's not in a trap right beside the cheese. So it would be much safer if she would eat the what? Yes, if she would eat the grain in there. Okay, let's look at no time to play. Page 15. Ready? Together. No time to play. Chip has work to do. He will not play. He must run to get nuts to eat. He fills his nest with the nuts. Chip will keep them in his nest. He cannot see the nuts if snow is on the ground. Now is the time to work. So why can't Chip play? What does he have to do first? That's right. He has work to do. He needs to do that work first. And he needs to gather all of those nuts. But where is he going to store them? He's going to put them in his nest, right? So why does Chip need to store the nuts now instead of later? Because winter's going to come, and if they're in a place where there's snow, that snow is going to cover those nuts, and Chip's going to have a really hard time finding what he needs to eat. So if he doesn't have anything to eat, then he's not going to survive. And so God put that intuition in him, in Chip, that he needs to go out and look for those nuts now, so that when it comes winter time, it's probably fall time right here, when it becomes winter time, he will have food that he can eat. Right? Okay, let's look on page 16. We go to church. Page 16. Okay, here we go. Ready? Together. We go to church. This is the day we go to church. I will dress fast. I will take my pal. Her name is Jill. I will read my Bible. We will drive home in our car. Okay, so let's think about the story. What day do you think it is in the story? What's going on here in the story? What day do you think? Probably Sunday. Now, some people go to church on Wednesdays. I know we haven't been allowed to go to church since we had to be in isolation. But if you're looking at church on videos like you are with me, then you probably get to see some kind of church on Wednesday on the video and then on Sunday. So here, they're probably in church on Sunday. And then so who is he going to take? It doesn't tell us his name in there, but who's he going to take to church with him? His pal who? That's right, his pal Jill. And so in church, look at what mom and dad and even he has on his lap. There you are reading out of the Bible. Very good. And so how are they going to get home? Yeah, they're going to drive their car home. Okay, let's look on page 17. We're going to read these sight words, and then this is going to be your homework for Tuesday night. Okay, so let's read on page 17. Ready? Together. Sight, might, cord, fork, barn, dark, barks, yard, shine, shep. Okay, now let's stop right there. Look at the word shep. It has a capital S on there. So it's probably a name. And in the story coming up, you're going to figure out whose name that is. Okay, let's keep going. Ready? Together. Stars, mark, fly, sky, grand, greet, chicks, chain, her, verse, twins, twirl, nurse, shirt. And the last two, ready? Together. Clouds, ouch, scout. Okay, now let's look at this one. If you're scouting for something, you're looking for clues. Okay, so if you're out and somebody tells you to go scout that out, you're looking for some clues. You're looking at what's going on around you. Okay, ready? Together. Shout, lunch, munch, right? Like you're gonna munch on something. 3, thrown. Okay, so we're gonna stop there. So this is your homework for Tuesday night. You're gonna read pages 13 through 17. So for Tuesday night, you're gonna read pages 13 through 17. And then our next video, we're gonna start on page 18. Okay, so you can either stop all of this right now and do all of that, or you can keep going. Okay, but I'm gonna keep going. So I'm gonna read on page 18. I'm gonna start reading Kite Fun. Now, if you noticed, when you did your picture walk, this is the biggest book that we've had. So this doesn't stop on page 15 anymore. This goes all the way to page 23. And why is our books getting so much bigger? Why are our stories getting bigger? Because you are getting smarter. You know how to read so much more now. So our books started so little and now they're getting so big, right? Because you can read more. You have learned so much this year, and it makes my heart so happy to know how much you are reading and how much of your AR books you're reading too. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this video right here and I'm gonna start another one. You can either stop and stop right there for the day, or you can go ahead and keep going. Okay, so if you want to stop, this is where you need to stop. If you want to keep on going, then let's do this together. Okay, page 18, here we go. Ready? Together. Now this is going to be for Wednesday, so today is for Wednesday's homework. Ready? Together. Kite Fun. Kay will fly her kite. It will sail up in the sky. It might go out of sight. Will it fly to the clouds? I hope Kay will keep the cord in her hand. It is time to eat now. Kay got her kite down fast. It is work to fly a kite, but it is fun. Okay, so if you hear Abigail there, she's trying to get my attention. So I'm gonna go get her so that she can figure out what she wants to do, because she misses you already. So she's trying to get my attention. So hold on just a second. Okay, so I was trying to get Abigail, but she apparently did not want to come back in here. She wanted to go play outside with Lila. So we just finished up Kite Fun. Hopefully you have had some time to be flying a kite at home. And if you have not had a chance to fly a kite at home, it is a lot of fun, but make sure that you're holding on to that cord, just like she had to do, because if you let that cord go, what's going to happen to your kite? It's going to fly away. It's going to be a really hard time to get it back. And you also have to be careful around trees, right? Because it's going to get tangled up in that tree. So be careful when you're flying kites, and don't fly them around any power lines. You need to make sure that you're flying it in an open area. Okay, so I'm sorry you didn't get to see Abigail again. She wanted to go outside and play with Lila for a little bit. She she doesn't really play with Lila, but she likes to go outside and check out what Lila's doing. She's kind of nosy. Okay, page 20. This is our very last story in this book. Okay, so page 20. Here we go. Ready? Together. A Day at the Farm. Mark and Matt are twins. The twins like to go to Granddad's farm. Shep barks to greet them. Okay, let's stop right there. So Mark and Matt are twins. That means they were born on the same day by the same mom, right? Just like Trip has little brothers that are twins. So these are twins also. Now, if you look at Granddad, they have that slash there, but that's because it's a bigger word and they want you to be able to read it correctly. Now, when you're reading a word like this in a regular story, it's not going to have that on there. And it's also got an apostrophe S on Granddad's because that shows ownership, right? We talked about that. And if it's an apostrophe S, that's someone, something. So it shows ownership of it. So whose farm is it? It's Granddad's farm. And if you looked, there's Shep. We talked about that word. So who is Shep? The dog. That's right. And your sight words on this one are and from. Okay, so let's look at the next page. Page 21, we're going to keep reading. So when you get to the end of page 21, you need to go ahead and turn it to page 22. Ready? Together. Mark and Matt help in the barn. The jobs are not hard. Matt feeds the chicks. Mark picks up the eggs. Remember to turn to page 22. Then it is time to play. Matt plays in the barn. Mark plays in the barnyard. Okay, let's stop right there for just a second. So remember that barnyard that has a slash in there because it's two words that when put together make a new word. So who remembers what that's called? Well, if you said compound word, kiss your brain. Because you are correct. So that's a compound word. But they put that slash in there so that you could read it a little bit easier. And when you read it somewhere else, it's not going to have that slash. Okay, very last page, page 23. Ready? Together. At sunset, they go home. The sky is dark and the stars shine as Mark and Matt ride in the car. Okay, that is the last story of your book. That ends Green Book. So that is going to be your homework, okay? So your homework for Tuesday was pages 13 through 17. So you need to practice reading those with me and then practice reading it to someone else. And then for your homework for Wednesday was going to be pages 18 through 23. So your homework for Thursday is going to be that whole thing again. So pages 13 all the way to 23 for your homework on Thursday. So next week we have one more book. So you should have already gotten that book. It's this book right here, I Can Read Well, book number 5. And it has the ducks on there. So go ahead and make sure to do your picture walk before we start that book. Okay, I love you so much. I cannot wait to hear you reading. Hopefully your mom and dad have been sending me some videos because I seriously miss hearing you read. You've come so far. And this is the time of the year that I get to enjoy all of the hard work that we've done together. And I'm really, really missing it. But hopefully you have been practicing and you are reading so much better than before. Okay, don't forget to do all of your other papers. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be pulling out some science. So go ahead and pull out some science for me. I'll see you in just a second. I love you.